Hello and welcome to running the BSTAB sample file. I am Georgina Maldonado and I am part of the Moses User Support Group. In this video we are going to be running the BSTAB sample file. The intent is just to show you how Moses interacts with you and how you can move yourself around Moses. We are not going to be doing any engineering presentation and we're not going to be doing any math presentation here. This is just about how the program reacts. Now the file that I will be using, in most Moses installations, the files are located under the directory C, Program Files, Bentley, Engineering, Moses Connect Edition, version 10.14, HDesk. And this section that I have highlighted in yellow, it will change depending on which version of Moses you are running. The files for this exercise are under Runs, Samples, HYStat, and under HYStat you will find bstab-cif and bstab-dat. So let's go to the File Explorer so you can see how to run Moses. So here we are in File Explorer and you can see I'm at the directory that I had in the slide. So here are my two files, bstab-cif and bstab-dat. You can look under the type, the column labeled type, to see which one's the dat file and which one's the cif file. So I'm going to drag my bstab-cif to my Moses GUI shortcut. This is the Moses executable. And you see that the GUI comes up. This is in editing layout. So you see in editing layout on the left-hand side I have the files. And you see that there is a cif file that is labeled as primary. So this is the file that is going to be run. Right now I have not run it. That is why the output file on the right-hand side, that window that says output log, is blank. In the center I have the bstab.cif. So CIF stands for command input file. And this is the command input file, and that's from top to bottom. I scroll down and you see that in green are the comments, in blue are the commands, and in the light teal color are the options. So this is the entirety of the file that we are going to run. On this top menu, I'm going to use this Run button, so Run Analysis. And once I press it, you will see that the output log on that window on the right-hand side is populated. So here we go. So you see this is Moses running. And I'm going to make my command file smaller so that we can see more of the log. And you see there's a welcome banner, and then it tells us a little bit about the commands that it used. You will be able to see the top one says %dimension, and that is this first one that is in the blue on line 13. And you can see that it basically echoes each command that it read. You will not see the $ lines because those are comments. So you see that there's blue and then there's black. So blue are the commands and black is when it is trying to show you some results that it calculated. So here is a table that we asked for because we needed some information. And then down here is we entered the hydrostatics menu and we asked for some calculations. Now this report was actually put into the output file, and we can look at it closer when we look at the results layout. So the results layout I'm going to access via this menu. You see it's the last button. So this is the results layout, and I'm going to go over here on the left-hand side, and you see that there's a log file and an output file that was made. And I'm going to make this a little smaller so that we can see our picture. I'm going to use the hand so that I can grab my barge. You can move the barge, and then with the two arrows you can rotate the barge. Okay, if you want to make that window small, you can go back and see the command file. On the right-hand side, we have a summary of the reports that were made. So we only asked for one report, so there's only one entry. So it was a writing arm results. The next tab over is the detail of our writing arm results. So this was just a short calculation of writing arms. You see there's 3 columns, and you can see that there is a graph now appears on the lower right-hand side. This is the default graph that will appear when you ask for writing arm results. Now if you want to look at other values that were calculated, if you go over here to the left-hand side, it says results properties, And you see that here for plot on y-axis, we have other values. For example, we can plot the area ratio. When I check mark the area ratio, you see that a purple line was added to our graph. So you can click and unclick as you wish. And then if you come to a plot that you like, you can of course take a screenshot for your report. So again, if you decide that you wanted to add commands, you can go back to the editing menu, and on this window, on the center window, is where you would, for example, add commands. Here I'm adding a command. I can say status category. Okay, so here's where you add commands, and then of course you save. You save way up here on the upper left-hand corner, and then you do have to clear the database. Here is the button for clearing the database in the main menu, and you see that will blank out that window on the right-hand side. And if I want to run it to see what the changes are because I have added a command, I hit the run, and you see again it populates that window. And if we do a comparison, we'll see that because I added the status category, it added a table to this file, to this log file. So that is a quick summary of how Moses interacts. This is meant as an introduction to working with Moses. The intent is just to get you familiar with the interface. And that concludes our video. I hope you have found it useful, and I hope you keep using Moses for your engineering work.